Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday. I had a double check. How is everybody doing? Who's here today? Feel free to hop in the chat and say hello. I see Deborah says good morning. Christine says happy Wednesday, Jackie and friends. Hello, Misty. Good morning, Kylie. Good morning, Jojo, Teresa. Hi, Mimi, and hi, Jamie. Kylie is occasionally here. Well, I'm glad you were able to join us today. Hi, Lisa. Hello, Simran. Krista, hello, good morning. Anna says, hello, Jackie and friends. We are chatty today. Are you guys just trying to get your words out before Mercury stations retrograde? Just kidding. If you're new to me, my name is Jackie Mancuso. Today we're here to talk about the next upcoming week of astrology. And then we're going to pull some oracle cards for the collective to see how we can all use this energy to our highest and greatest goods. If you guys are new here, I guess, just know that I always record these sessions and I put them on my YouTube channel. So if I give too much information and you can't keep up, just hop on my YouTube later and rewatch. I can't get over my hair. Hi, Jackie. Nice to see you. I was thinking about you yesterday. Did your ears ring? Long story short, because I just love talking about myself. When I was staying in Portland, my friend had Moroccan oil for his hair. And I was like, oh, I'm going to try to use this. And I put it in and I was like, oh, I've used this in the past, like when I was younger. And I love that stuff. And so I told myself when I got back home, I was going to buy it. So I bought a cheap knockoff brand of argan oil, and I used it on Sunday night. And when I was here on Monday, did you guys notice my hair was up? My hair's never up. It was because it was like stringy, wet, nasty, oily. So I caved and I just bought the real stuff and I put it in yesterday. And I feel like my hair looks so much better than it's looked in so long. That's it. And I have very fine hair. So if you have fine hair and you want a product that's not going to weigh it down, it's the Moroccan Argan Oil Light. That's what I put in. And I just do like half a pump and I put it in the ends when it's wet. Oh my gosh, I love it. Misty, ew. Yeah, it was like wet. I had like 4 pieces of hair on the bottom. Greetings, Tam. Nancy says my hair looks beautiful. Thank you. I don't know. There's something about my hair. I'm very attached to the health of my hair and the way it looks. It's interesting. It's Jackie. So today we're here to talk about the week of astrology between October 20th and October 26th. I meant November. We're in November. November 20th to November 26th. Wowza. Today we're going to talk about Sagittarius season and Mercury stationing retrograde. Yeah, it's almost December, Misty. Get out. Get out. It's almost 2025. Like we're almost done with 2024. It's crazy. So let's get into it. Tomorrow, Thursday, November 21st, the sun enters Sagittarius, bringing us into Sagittarius season, which will last until December 21st. Hi, Nancy. Sagittarius is a mutable fire sign, which means it has the capacity to start a forest fire. Hello, Melinda. The mutable signs in the zodiac are the ones that come at the end of the season. So in this case, Sagittarius is the last sign in the season of autumn in the Northern Hemisphere. Good morning, Deb. The role of mutable signs is to reflect on the previous few months, the first 2 signs of the season, and to decide what needs to change as we move into the next season of winter. So when the sun moves through the mutable signs, which are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, you can anticipate to feel more change, and you may experience more lightness during those times if you can remain detached from certain outcomes in your life. Sagittarius is also a fire sign. Fire is the bringer of confidence, motivation, ambition, excitement, passion, self-expression, as well as impulsiveness and sometimes a quick temper. So if we put these traits together, the mutable and the fire, we can intuit and predict that the energy in the air for the next month during Sagittarius season might be passionately impulsive, perhaps to make some changes in the trajectory of your life. You may also experience the passion of others who are hell-bent on making their voices heard. So this is a good time to bring up that the planetary ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in the zodiac, and that is very representative of the large presence of the Sagittarius energy, which is going to be available to you and to everybody that you know. Jupiter represents growth and expansion, and Jupiter is also related to truth with a capital T. Jupiter helps us expand our perceptions until we have found universal truth, not objective truth. Jupiter wants us to expand outside of the truth that lives in our bubble, our echo chamber. Universal truth can be defined as a principle or fact that is consistently applicable regardless of context, time, or culture. So some examples of universal truths that Jupiter, Sagittarius, is here to help us sink into. Just examples of this is change is inevitable. Actions have consequences. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. And all living things eventually die. These are examples of universal truths that Sagittarius and Jupiter are here to help us feel more into over the next month. Universal truths transcend personal perspectives, and they help us make sense of this existence. So currently, Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, is in Gemini. Gemini is the sign related to the mind and communication. Gemini is also related to your perception and opinions of your environment. So with all of that blending together, this Sagittarius season, 2024, could be very beneficial to your worldview if you allow yourself to step outside, to wander outside of your echo chamber, and listen to the opinions of those who differ from you. Sagittarius season asks you to expand, to wander, to explore, to go out there. This specific Sagittarius season is starting off with a very community-based flavor. As the sun enters Sagittarius tomorrow, it forms an exact supportive sextile to Pluto, who just entered Aquarius yesterday. So tomorrow, Pluto is still going to be at 0 degrees of Aquarius. This is 2 signs away from where the sun will be entering 0 degrees of Sagittarius, which creates a sextile, 60 degrees apart. This is beneficial. So Pluto has just begun his 20-year journey through Aquarius, where Pluto's mission is to bring power to the people. But Pluto is known as the destroyer. That's how his magic works. He comes in, he breaks everything down, he exposes all the shadows that none of us want to look at, and then he sends his blessing and he moves on. So as I was sitting with the chart for Sagittarius season, looking at Pluto offering his sextile to the sun in Sagittarius, I heard Pluto say, "Burn that shit." And it semi-surprised me, but Pluto is just entering his new territory, and he's in destruction mode. He's in demolition mode. He's here to burn the shit down. So Pluto has the ability to support the sun, who just entered the mutable fire sign of Sagittarius. Let it burn. Watch it burn. It's not working anymore. The sooner you let it go, the sooner it can be rebuilt with love. I'm speaking broadly here on purpose because this is simply the energy that's available to the whole world right now. Pluto wants to help the sun in Sagittarius burn that shit down. And if there's a situation at the top of your mind right now, as you hear me translate the astrology for you into English, I'd like you to know that this is your intuition letting you know what is ready to burn in your life. Your ego might not like it. It might bring up some fear. But whatever is top of mind right now, when you hear me say, let that shit burn, it's what's trying to be transformed in your life right now. And it's time to let go. Jamie says that sums up my day yesterday. Diane requoted, the sooner you let it go, it can be rebuilt with love. I like that. Later this week, we are offered a Mercury retrograde season to perhaps help the mind wrap itself around what needs to go. Mercury retrograde begins in the evening of Monday, November 25th. So depending on where you are in the world, it might even begin on Tuesday, the 26th. Cool. Christine says, this all makes perfect sense. Misty says, yep, went into total transformation time 2 days ago on my birthday. Felt it. Happy belated birthday. I love that. Diane noticed how I said we are offered a Mercury retrograde season because nothing happens to you. Everything's happening for you. So the universe says, here's a Mercury retrograde. How do you want to use it? Christine heard Piston. He's underneath me again today. Moaning and groaning. Piston's my dog, if you guys don't know. Okay, so Mercury retrograde is here to perhaps help the mind wrap itself around what needs to go. Mercury is the planet of the mind. So Mercury retrograde begins the evening of Monday the 25th, maybe Tuesday the 26th if you're across the pond. Mercury stations direct at 22 degrees of Sagittarius. His retrograde will last until December 15th, where he reaches 6 degrees of Sagittarius. So Mercury, the planet of the mind, offers us a time of mental review during Mercury retrograde. Retrograde means review. That's really funny. Nicole says you can hear Piston real good today because your earbuds are in. You thought it was your dog. That's awesome. Interesting. Misty started into a massive snowstorm yesterday. Hello, winter. Yeah, we'll get to winter in a second. If you've been following with my work for some time, you might remember that we talked about Mercury entering his shadow, which happened on November 7th. This was mentioned in my massive 3 weeks of astrology that I recorded when I was in Portland before I took my road trip. So this was like a month ago that I recorded that video. But Mercury entered his shadow on the 7th. So from November 7th through the time that Mercury retrograde starts, Mercury is here to show you some themes that may be ready for review during his retrograde. So this might be a good time to ask yourself, what has been top of mind for the last 2 weeks? We're about 2 weeks into his shadow right now. Is it the same thing that came up when you heard me say that Pluto said, let that shit burn? It might be, it might not be. If you know how to locate 6 to 22 degrees of Sagittarius in your own natal chart, this can give you an idea of the area of life that's going to be in review. by locating the house or houses that hold 6 to 22 degrees of Sagittarius within your natal chart. And if you don't know how to find that information, that's completely fine. Because I've noticed that sometimes when the ego brain, Mercury, tries to overanalyze the astrology, you can minimize the power of it. Because you might be waiting for something in particular to happen. Oh, Mercury's retrograding in my 4th house. That means my whole family's going to fall apart. That means I'm going to move. You know, like if you're waiting for something monumental to happen in whatever area of life, you can minimize the magic that's about to happen. I've mentioned many times that I prefer to use astrology in retrospect. I prefer to stay present in what is happening and to use my own internal compass, my own intuition to move through life. And then I look back and I realize, like, oh my gosh, that's what was happening in my chart during that time. Oh, it makes so much sense. However, the use of astrology has helped me lower my fears and anxieties about changes in life because I know what's to come. So there's a balance. Take what resonates for you. If you want to look at your chart, awesome. If you don't, awesome. There's a balance. So we know that Mercury is about to station retrograde. When we have that information, it's like knowing that there's a chance of rain. So are you going to board up your whole house and vow to stay inside during the whole rainstorm so you don't get rained on? Or are you going to choose to keep an umbrella by your door and use your own intuition to decide if you need to take it with you or not? So this Mercury retrograde through Sagittarius is going to help us review some universal truths. Perhaps it's going to help us review how much we have applied universal truths to our personal lives. For example, one of my favorite universal truths is that nothing is good or bad. Everything just is, and it's your perception, your opinion that makes things good or bad. So this Mercury retrograde may show you some things in your life that you have deemed as bad in a new, more objective light. Sagittarius is linked to the Temperance card in the tarot, and Temperance is all about walking the middle path. You can see the light, you can see the darkness, you accept the light for what it is, and you accept the darkness for what it is, and you choose to walk the middle path. What does acceptance look like? What does it feel like? Total acceptance of universal truths. It is. It's pretty easy to accept the light in the world, right? It's pretty easy to say, yeah, I agree with the way this is going and I accept it because it works for me. It's a little more difficult to accept the darkness. It's more difficult to say, I disagree with the way this is going and I'm not going to try to change it. I'm going to accept that it is. So what is something that you disagree with? Especially something that might have come up over the last 2 weeks with Mercury's shadow. Is there an outcome that you wish had been a different outcome within your personal life, on the world stage? Is there a bunch of resistance coming up within you around whatever this outcome is? Is there a lot of desire within you to change the outcome? So what would happen if you accepted the universal truth that you are unable to change this external outcome? What would happen if you completely and totally sank into acceptance for what is? Is it bad? Is the opposite of this good? Or is it just that? It is. Excuse me. I see Sherry said, oh, heck yes, but I found my peace again. That's the next note in my notes. The middle path is the peaceful path. Oh, look at all these bless yous. Thank you, guys. Think about the extremes and think about how much emotion is on either side of the extremes. Think about how much of a wave that creates to go from this extreme down to this extreme and up to this extreme. So do you want to live in these emotional highs and lows? If you do, awesome. Enjoy it. Have fun. But I'm here to stay as centered as possible, and I'm here to offer advice to stay as centered as possible. So this Mercury retrograde may offer you an opportunity to review a circumstance in order to broaden your perspective, in order to broaden your acceptance of what is, in order to bring universal truth to a place where personal opinion has shaped your extreme emotions. Everything's so timely. Everything's so timely. Misty says, I lost my job 4 days ago, but yesterday I decided it was exactly what I needed. Yes, I love that. Congratulations on coming to that realization. And I love that you gave yourself some time to probably feel some extreme emotions, right? When you have these big life changes, it's not about just shoving it down and saying, everything's great, it's fine. Like that meme of the dog drinking coffee and everything's burning and it's like, everything's fine. It is important to feel the feelings, right? We're still in Scorpio season. It's deep emotion. So good on you for giving yourself some time to probably work through the what the hell's happening, and then to come to that acceptance. Everything always is happening for you. Nothing happens to you. Excuse me 1 second. I'm gonna mute my mic so I can blow my nose. Misty said you sat in the feels for sure. Sherry pulled the flamingo card this morning. Represents balance and being between worlds. Did that come from the Animal Apothecary deck? Or with a different deck? That sounds familiar. If this message so far resonates with you and has maybe unlocked some of your internal wisdom through my astrology translation, I gratefully welcome energy exchanges in the forms of donations. Your support helps continue my servitude to you. In addition, I just wanted to throw it out there as well. Tomorrow is the start of Sagittarius season, and every astrology season that comes up, I share my Spotify playlist, because last year I made all these Spotify playlists for all the astrology seasons, and I just think they're fun. They're just normal songs that come up that I have compiled, and there's songs that, like, when I listen to them, I'm like, oh yeah, this person is definitely singing through a Sagittarius lens. Like, this song is about Sagittarius type energy. So if you want that playlist, hi Jess, nice to see you. Feel free to sign up for my email list, because tomorrow I'm also making a couple announcements specifically about changes to my Patreon and my upcoming winter one-on-one coaching packages. So just know that if you guys want to get involved, be informed about what the hell I'm doing all the time, because it changes every 5 minutes. Sign up for my email list. You could do so in my Insight Timer bio. Hello, Elena. Nice to see you. Sherry, that was the spirit animal deck. Colette Barron Reed. Interesting. I don't think I ever got flamingo from that deck. Cool. So we are now going to transition into some oracle cards, and we're going to pull some cards, 2 different decks, and we're going to ask 2 different questions talking about the 2 different topics that we covered today. Jamie says, yesterday I got a week on the street for being 2 minutes late to work and got accused of playing games with what time I got there. That reaction was the absurdity of being controlled by other people. It's been about 1.5 years since I've worked for someone else, and my God, does it feel so good to not have that kind of dog and pony show of showing up exactly on time and all that stuff and getting reprimanded for just being a freaking human. year and a half P of being solo. It's nice. It's very nice. Cool. So first, we are going to use, okay, I'm going to tell you the question first. So the first question we're going to ask is, what is this Sagittarius Mercury retrograde helping us review? What universal truths are we reviewing during this Sagittarius Mercury retrograde? And before I even had the question, and I was just like, okay, the first question is going to be about Mercury retrograde, the Tree of Life Oracle was like screaming at me, use me. This deck challenges me because I don't like fully understand the Tree of Life. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. It uses words that I don't know, but they're similar to the planets. But even the way that this deck talks about the planets is very opposite of astrology in some ways. Like the Saturn card in this deck, Saturn, in my opinion, is father time. And there's like a feminine description of Saturn in it. So I don't know. I don't know why I had to say that, but. Jamie, ready to let go of toxic people. If you're not exactly like them, you're their enemy. That's dangerous, isn't it? This comes, and you can check yourself on this comes from living in a bubble. This comes from living in an echo chamber. Are you only resonating with the opinions of people who totally agree with you to validate your own feelings? Or are you firm enough in what you believe to ask why someone with an opposite view would have that view? Just asking. Diane, what is this Sagittarius Mercury retrograde helping us review? Cool. Let's get to it. Group reading all the time. 3 cards are going to come out for us. Feel free to send your energy into this deck. Is this one upside down? Yes, it is. What if that's like the message? What is this Sagittarius Mercury retrograde helping us review? As I said, I always do group readings. So all 3 cards that come out today are going to be for everybody here. And I like to let you guys have an intuition playground. So I will show you the backs of the 3 cards that come out. So you're going to see the card back image 3 times. It's going to look the exact same. And then I want you to see if your intuition picks up on anything different from any of the cards. I don't want to tell you what might happen because I don't want you to be attached to an outcome. But just know if something in your universal worldview changes, like if your dog groans or if you get a text or something, if your house creaks, like if anything in your environment changes, when I hold up a certain card, that could be your guides saying, hey, pay attention to that one. That is what you have to review during this Mercury retrograde. If, distracted, sorry. If nothing changes when I hold up the cards, that does not mean that your intuition is broken. That does not mean that you are not an intuitive person. That could just mean that the whole reading holds equal importance for you. So you might be here to review a whole lot in your life during Mercury retrograde this time around. Cecilia, thank you so much for your donation. I really, really appreciate it. So the 3 cards have come out for us. I will show you the backs, and then I would like you to let us know in the chat which cards are resonating with you. So what is this Mercury retrograde helping us review? Here's the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Let us know in the chat which cards are resonating with you. And we'll show them one more time just in case. Here's the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Interesting. Very, very big glares on these cards today. I noticed I had a really hard time getting them like in view without the light being too bright. Let's see which cards y'all are working with. We've got Nancy working with 3, Christine 1, 3, Jojo 1, Nicole 2, 3, Deb 2, Angela 1, Mimi 3, Kaz 3, Allison 2, Alda. I yawned on card 2. Interesting. Teresa 3, Shauna hiccuped after card 1, Diane 1, Goddess 2, Sylvia 2, Deborah 1 and 3, Leah 3, Melinda 3, Misty 3, Elisa 1, Alda again. Now, wow, that must be the one. Interesting. What does a yawn mean to you? What happens? What's the purpose of your body yawning? This is how your intuition can work, guys. Nicole 1 and 2, Sherry 3 for me, Nancy 2 and 3, Melinda 1 and 3, Jess all 3, Lisa itchy nose the first time you showed 2, washing machine beep the second time you showed 2. Okay, so what sense is your nose? What does your nose mean to you? Deborah, release. That's what the yawn is to Deborah. Alda, oh great, it's 6 a.m. Simran, I appreciate you asking, but I show them twice, and then if you missed it, I suggest just using your intuition in a different way. There could be a reason. Could be a reason why you missed it. Mari, when I yawn, it's like a sigh. I'm so stressed. Interesting. Gotta let something out. Gotta let something go. Get rid of something. What is this Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius helping us review specifically? Card number 1 today is the element of water. Intuition, emotions, love. And again, I'm going to say some of these words in here I'm probably going to mispronounce. The beautiful queen of water is Nixa, garden of the west, companion of the archangel Gabriel. The sparkling undines are her companions. The cup is her magical tool. And Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces are the water signs in astrology. Nixa sometimes shows herself as an ocean wave, but more often a sea goddess, resplendent in her element. She's attended by the undines, who appear as sparkles on water and sometimes eel-like creatures. Water is the most powerful element. If there were an elemental Olympics, it would win. Just saying. It can cut through earth, put out fire, and capture air within it. Do not underestimate it. When this card appears, you can cut through what may seem impossible using the power of your subconscious, your inner knowing, to feel your way forward. This may be an emotional time for you. Your emotions are your radar system. Let them alert you to where things need to change, where you can move from raging sea to calm lake. If you can, immerse yourself in a meditative process to restore balance. You could be drawn to psychic and intuitive practices at this time. Healing modalities too. Look for teachers and groups that could help you. If you feel you are over polarizing on the water element, seek earth to help diffuse it. Water can represent love, a new romance perhaps, To activate the element of water, get yourself to water, a large expanse of it if you can. Sit by a lake or swim in the sea. Take a bath if that's easier. Just be in or around water. If you want to use this element to develop your intuition, spend some time gazing out to sea or over a lake. Wear the colors of the sea, and of course, drink more water. So what is this Mercury retrograde helping us review? How much power you give to your emotions, how you utilize the power of water, your intuition, your subconscious, your emotions. This might be helping you review emotions that have been coming up because of things that you cannot change, and taking those emotions to decide on what you want to do with them. It's interesting that this card talked about how water is the most powerful element, because I actually just heard someone talking about that the other day. And water is a silent, powerful emotion. And the way that the person described it was, if you drop an empty can, it clinks and it clacks and it's so loud. But if you drop a can that's full of water, like a soda can or whatever, it barely makes any noise. But then think about how much weight that holds, how much power that holds. Like water in itself, emotions, intuition, subconscious, is the most powerful. So this Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius might be showing you how you can use your intuition, your subconscious, what you know is right, what emotions are being triggered in you through this outcome, how to use those in order to be powerful in your life. I have a feeling that the rest of this reading is going to expand on that. Could be that this Mercury retrograde is going to help you find love for an outcome that you were expecting to go a different way. I'm not just talking about the world stage right now either, guys. If there's something personally in your life that you wish went a different way, it could be that as well. Thank you so much, Melinda. Super appreciate your donation. Anyone who does offer a donation here, whether it's on Insight Timer or if you go into my link and you donate through PayPal or Venmo, I do a book dive for you guys. So I'm going to either dive into this book or the second book that we use with the second deck, and I'll give you a personalized few sentences as a thank you. Misty says expansion on the Scorpio deep dive we're coming out of, maybe. Karen, I pulled the She Who Flows card last night, all about going with the flow of life. I flow with life, and life flows with me. Amber, going with the flow might be the best mantra ever. Yeah, it's all about acceptance, detaching from outcomes, detaching from things that you cannot control. Yes. So where might you be able to flow more in your life? The flow might be a waterfall. Melinda says those book dives are always so fun to receive. Awesome. I'm glad. Card number 2. What else is this Sagittarius Mercury retrograde helping us review? This is the 26th path, the devil. I love the devil. F around and find out. F around and find out. Melinda, yes, this is being recorded today. Yeah. The devil brings us truth, illusion, and trust. This path runs between Had and Tippereth and is Capricorn in astrology. One of the 3 Dark Night of the Soul paths. It tests you to reveal the nature of your true self. Pan is devil-like, but not the creature that we'd call the devil. He dances on the card alongside smaller figures. Are they dancing with him, or are they dancing for him? What is the truth of this situation? As you walk this path, you are confronted with something that many struggle with: yourself. Here you are in all your glory, with all your warts and lumps and bumps. But you've forgotten the glory bit already, haven't you? Realism is needed to understand that you may be focusing on the one negative comment and ignoring the 100 of positive ones. Not just a modern conundrum, it seems. And why are you dancing when the washing up is waiting to be done? This is the illusion you are asked to free yourself from. It's not the dance or the dishes. It's who or what is pulling your strings. Are you trying to fit in, trying to people please, or are you caught in comparison? To break free of an illusion, first identify the cause of it, not the way it has manifested. Get back on track by removing what you no longer trust is for your highest good. Be committed to spiritual growth. Being committed to spiritual growth takes devotion to a new sort of dance. To activate the 26th path, imagine having a conversation with yourself, not your higher self, your warts and all self. What hard truths do you need to know? Think beyond how you look in a turtleneck sweater. Go deeper and tell yourself not only where your illusions are, but what has to go and what you are inviting in to help you along the way. I just love this card. Mercury retrograde is helping us review what is controlling us, what is dictating our emotions, what is pulling our strings, what has us as the puppet. What is our puppeteer? What is it? Who are we acting for? Who are we fighting for? Who are we having these emotions for? Is it ourself? If the answer is no, then maybe revisit why you are letting yourself have your strings pulled by something outside of yourself. The Sagittarius Mercury retrograde is helping you review truths, universal truths. That's what I'm getting from this devil card. You guys getting anything different? I love it. I love it. Mari says, oh, do you do private readings? She says, my birthday is Cancer, a water sign, yet I am scared of any waters that are deep, and I have bad dreams that my kids, when younger, have fallen in water, and now I have bad dreams that my dog had fallen in deep water, and I wake up in a panic. Mari, I no longer do private single readings. I do offer coaching packages. If you want to sign up for my email list, I'll be talking about those. However, if you contact me directly, I'll send you Max's information. I love Max. He does private readings. He's who I refer my people to nowadays. Lisa says, oh, yes, this is my card. Yeah, Mercury retrograde and Sag is helping you realize, like, who's dictating my emotions? Who's dictating my actions? Is it truly me? Or is it something outside of me that is feeding me information that makes me want to act in a way that I wouldn't act if I didn't have this information? Just saying. What is that emoji, Allison? What's the one in the middle? I see like a firework and a lightning bolt and a blue square. It's way too small for me to see what it is. That's it. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Yeah. Stars. Love it. Sherry, no. Matt, no. It's not Max Ryan. Max, not a teacher on Insight Timer. He's a friend that I have. Max of Nashville is his name. He and I are about to do some collaborations. We were actually going to start today, but he's under the weather. But he's an astrologer. He does human design. He does gene keys. He is just an extremely intuitive man who does everything. Every time that he talks to me, I'm just like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, how did you know all of that about me? So that's it. If you want information, reach out to me and I'll pass them along to you. Yeah, it got way too overwhelming, me diving into people's personal energy for an hour and then going to the next person and diving deep into their personal energy. So I had to step back. It was way depleting me. Interesting. Why was Max Ryan banned from lives? I like those people. I like rule breakers. Love rule breakers. You guys remember, what was his name? There was a yoga teacher here on Insight Timer a while ago, a year or more. And I think it was when Apple started taking 30% of our donations. He like went up in arms. He like removed himself from the app. He was super popular. Adrian Molina, was that his name? Do you guys know who I'm talking about? I just love people that stand up for like, you know what? I don't like your rules. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And sorry. And people like that trigger a lot of people. Yeah, Adrian Molina. And I like to pretend I'm one of those people. I am one of those people. Having a fun time learning how to lean into that part of me, because it's difficult to trigger people sometimes. It's difficult to stand up for what you want to stand up for. Can we do anything to help them get unbanned? I don't know. I didn't know that people could get banned from Insight Timer Lives. I think that's awesome. They paved the path for change. Yeah, Uranian people. They do these radical things that everyone else is like, what the hell are they talking about? But Uranus is unexpected change, way ahead of its time. So of course people are going to be like, that guy's nuts. That guy's going to burn the world down. What the hell is he thinking? No, he's just way ahead. I am a Uranian person, and anyone else who is an Aquarius rising, you are a Uranian person. Yes. Yeah, Adrian chose to leave the app because he wasn't a fan of how he was being compensated here. And that's his right, you know? It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yvonne, people have been banned and then allowed to come back, especially if there was a response from Insight Timer consumers. Interesting. Thank you so much, Christine, for your donation. My fellow Aquarius rising. Lisa is also an Aquarius rising. Yeah, we're ruled by Aquarius, or we're ruled by Uranus and Saturn, but I want to see why I hadn't seen him. Cool. All right. So what else is this Sagittarius Mercury Retrograde helping us review? Thank you, Melinda, for contacting Insight Timer about the Apple app taking so much of the donation. You know, I'm on a soapbox today. We might be here over an hour. It's not necessarily like Insight Timer that has power over this, because Apple is now doing the same thing on Patreon. Patreon's fees are going up, either so that the patron, you can eat the 30% Apple app, or if the creator is eating the 30% Apple app. So if you're going to buy anything on Patreon, if you have an Apple phone or an iPad, do it on a desktop. You save a bunch of money doing Patreon stuff through a desktop computer instead of using a mobile app, which is interesting. So there's your information. This all just started in November. Like, the monthly memberships are going to go up if you sign up on your phone. Something. Yeah, just try a desktop or an Android. Here's Pluto in Aquarius for you. Quite literally, Pluto has to destroy, expose the shadows. Look at how sketchy this is. Aquarius is technology, internet. More of this stuff might be coming out. Don't go into that, guys. Oh, that's right. I know Pluto's in Aquarius. Interesting. That secret came out. What else is going to come out? Let's F around and find out. Let's see who's controlling me. Is it me, or is it all the technology that I use? Okay. I could talk about this forever. Card number 3. What else is this Sagittarius Mercury Retrograde helping us review? Card number 3 brings us the element of air. Thoughts, mind, communication, Mercury. Oh, come on. So many words, I don't know. The king of air, Peralda, is the guardian of the East and the king of sylphs, the element beings of air. The astrological air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. The magical tool is the athame, and the archangel is Raphael. Peralta shows himself as a fairy-like creature with the bluest of eyes and wings like a dragonfly, or sometimes like a large white cloud. Here he is with his sylphs. Their role is communication, words, sending a fresh breeze to clear the mind. Words, thoughts, communication, language, distinctly human gifts that have so many blessings and curses, literally. When this card appears, you are being asked where you can use your airy nature, not just your words, but your lightness of being in a world that can often feel heavy, tying you down rather than allowing you to fly. You could have a choice to make that's playing on your mind. And regardless of your astrological sun sign, the influence of any Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius planets could be helping or hindering. As air bends to create sound, you are being asked to use its magic to bend things to your will. Perhaps you're being called to write a book of poetry, fiction or nonfiction, write a play, or offer up another of air's gifts to lighten or enlighten. Take ownership of any bright ideas that come your way now, for such is the nature of this element that anything left unsaid or not acted on will be blown into the next willing mind. To activate the element of air, when you feel the mind fog setting in, take yourself out into a windy day. Feeling anything from a gentle breeze to a howling wind will clear your mind. If that's all too much, do some cloud gazing. Watch as the element of air gently pushes the clouds away. So this Sagittarius Mercury Retrograde is helping us review how we use the element of air. Are you using your words and your communication to do something about the element of water emotions that are coming up? Helping us review our communication, helping us review our airy nature. I want to see if there's anything else that's coming up through this. What I'm getting from this, and it's not necessarily answering the question that I asked about what is this helping us review, but what can you do with this Mercury retrograde is you can speak up, you can write down what is coming up, you can journal, you can turn it into art as well, right? You can turn it into a story, you can turn it into a poem, you can turn it into musical lyrics. Do something with what you're feeling. Don't just sit there and stew in it, like do something with it. I love it. Michelle, thank you so kindly for your donation. I very much appreciate you. Very, very much. Misty said that's the third time air and Mercury came up for me today. Interesting. Simran makes sense. I'm a Gemini. Michelle, this is definitely my card. Love it. Sherry says me too. Jamie, air has been coming up for me a lot lately. Well, I know we asked about Mercury retrograde. However, you guys know what happened yesterday? Pluto entered Aquarius. This is a giant 20-year unfolding that's about to start. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a thing that happened yesterday that's going to impact the next 20 years. Like, that's a big deal. Aquarius is an air sign. And with Pluto now moving through Aquarius, Pluto is going to be trining, beneficially aspecting any planets that you might have in air signs. So even if you were not born under the Gemini sun or the Libra sun or the Aquarius sun, There's a chance that you have other planets in air signs. Your moon could be in an air sign. Your Mercury, your Mars, your Venus, everything. So Pluto is here to harmonize with your air, Gemini, and Libra placements in your chart. So it could be that Pluto right now is bringing up some deep emotions about things that need to change, perhaps where you are being controlled by other things. And Pluto is giving you this Mercury retrograde to say, hey, speak up about it. Do something about it. Maybe share your opinion and see if anyone else agrees with you, especially the opinions that vary differently from the accepted social norm. So, lightness of being. Love that. Yeah, it's always your choice. Always your choice. Yes, Misty, Wednesday is the day of Mercury and air. Mercury rules Wednesday. All the personal planets rule one of the days of the week. We are going to pull from one more deck. Just know that. Don't run away just yet. Abram says, when you touch the desk, loud bass noise. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have muted as much as I can. I can't change my life because of a microphone. I'm sorry. Sherry, we're expecting a windy day here. Perfect. Yes, use the wind. Use the wind to clear your mind. I like that. I've been using the wind to just clear my energy, but I like that this is specifically talking about clearing your mind. If you have a lot going on through your mind, take a walk. Go outside, take a 10-minute walk. Michelle says, the wind was howling last night where I live in the mountains of Colorado. I like the perspective of the wind clearing the mind. Yeah, my friend is traveling right now and she's in Wyoming, and she was texting me the other day that Wyoming is like super windy. Misty, definitely my card with what I just transformed. You can turn your deep emotions into laughter, 100%. Turn it into jokes. All comedy comes from sorrow. If there was no sorrow, there would be no comedy. Sky says that was the card that I felt was for me, and I'm an Aquarius moon and a Gemini rising. Love it. Christine, I feel I have not been speaking up enlightened. Always love your card, your take on the cards. Sun sign Aquarius, as you know. Oh, lately. I've not been speaking up lately. Why? Why? Abram, I stay quiet to be heard. That's what came up with the water element too. You guys remember that? I speak up, Lisa. My problem is the feeling I get after I have. Interesting. Misty, windy blizzard here. A day to stay in and contemplate. That's right. I was going to bring that up when I was preaching about acceptance. You guys know how much I do not love winter. I am a summer baby. I am a tank top, shorts, barefoot baby. Winter. I'm working on accepting. I'm working on saying, okay, it is going to be 0 degrees outside. I can choose to bundle up, or I can choose to sit inside and fester. And some days I will sit inside and try not to fester. The other day, I got like super, super sad. I just came back from traveling for almost a month, which is like my dream right now. I'm trying to get this motorhome so I can go live on the road, right? And travel and do all these things and be free. So I did that. And then I came home, and then reality hit, and the time change and the weather change. And I was just like, I am so sad. I don't want to be here. I don't like this at all. So I turned to ChatGPT. Have you guys used ChatGPT? For a long time, I was very resistant to AI, and now it is like my personal assistant. I'll tell you that much. But I turned to ChatGPT and I said, hey, you know I'm a spiritual person. I'm really depressed right now because of the upcoming winter and the darkness and the coldness. And like, can you help give me a perspective based on my holistic spiritual knowing that can give me some perspective? And I don't remember exactly everything that ChatGPT said, but it really did give me like oh, okay, I get it. You know, like it helped give advice to me in a way that's like, yes, winter is for slowing down and letting go. And because I've put so much information, I've put so much of my own personality into ChatGPT because I interact with it all the time. It talks to me like I want to hear. So that's really cool. If you're one of those people that like gets super sad and then you go to Google for information and you're like, you guys are dumb. You're not talking to me the way I want to be talked to. That's what I've been getting from ChatGPT. Here comes Pluto and Aquarius, right? Anyway, one of the things was make yourself some bone broth. Oh my gosh, duh. You know, the house, right? I started it yesterday. It's simmering right now. The house smells amazing. I love the taste of bone broth. I love knowing how healthy it is for me. I don't even remember why I was talking about that, but this is a reason where I'm like, okay, winter might not be that bad because I get to make broth and it's fun and all this stuff. And that's that. Deb says you're not a winter person. Suzanne too. Stevie, trying to enjoy a walk in the wind always annoys me. What a great reframe. Clear the mind. Yes, Abram loves ChatGPT. Christine loves it. It brings an understanding voice. I met a friend through the Ecstatic Dance Circle who uses ChatGPT for his like coaching, like his spiritual coaching. And I don't fully understand it. And the first time I heard it, I was a little bit like, isn't that cheating? But then we've like talked about it and he showed me this app that he made. What's it called? Booty, something Booty, Boodi. Booty AI, I think. If you want to look into it, it's this app website that he made. And you go to it and you just tell his website all your problems. I'm sad because of this. I don't understand why this is happening. I'm having a hard time accepting this. And then his AI programmed ChatGPT gives you like it's going to be okay. And this is why, and this is how. And it's pretty cool. Anyway, we're going to pull one more card from one more deck. This first pull was about Mercury retrograde. What is Mercury helping us review while he's retrograde in Sagittarius? How powerful your emotions and intuition can be when used effectively. Review who's pulling your strings. And review your thoughts, your communication. What can you do with your communication? What can you do with your speech? Where is Sagittarius season helping us expand to? We're going to use the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck to ask that second question. Where is Sagittarius season helping us expand to? Same format as the first pull. Group reading. Please send your energy into this deck. And this time we're only going to get one card to wrap up this reading and to see where Sagittarius season is helping us expand to. So feel free to send your energy into this deck. Star Codes Astro. If you guys have been enjoying today's session so far, if you'd like to offer an energy exchange in the form of a donation, they are always greatly appreciated. Your support and donations do help me continue to serve in this way. And then, as I mentioned before, everyone who sends a donation today, either on Insight Timer or through my link in my bio, you can do PayPal or Venmo. There, I'm going to do a book dive into one of these books from today and give you a personalized little message. So, we asked, where is Sagittarius season helping us expand to? And the card that came out of the Star Codes Astro Oracle is card number 12, which is Pisces. And the message is sensitize. The symbol for Pisces is two fish, usually swimming in opposite directions. Pisces rules the feet and resonates with wetlands, streams, and ponds. Ruled by expansive Jupiter in traditional astrology and by intuitive Neptune in modern astrology, Mutable water sign Pisces calls us to sense our dreams and intuitive perceptions for the trickles and streams of understanding. Pisces asks us to swim in the ambient pool of emotion and be moved to a compassionate action. With Pisces, think of a vast watery landscape with streams meandering over fields, through ponds and swamps, where the different elements and diverse species flow together in one subtle, boundaryless, and fertile landscape. Appreciate all the diverse voices in this situation and take them as tributaries to your river. This complex ecology has so much more to say and is so much more robust than any simple monoculture. The situation you are facing is also subtle and complex, but that is its strength. This moment calls for finer perceptions, a more sensitive microphone. Be as aware of other people's feelings as you are of your own, but know whose feelings are whose. Track carefully what you can soak up from others and what is true to your own wellspring. Learn to honor a twin perception, that we are both individual cells with our own work to do, and that our cells are embedded in the body of creation. Healthy boundaries help us do our individual work. Spiritual practice can help us shift our perception from the cell mind to our role in the body of the one. The challenge of the Pisces card: Pisces permeability can leave you lost in a swamp, amorphous, wondering whether your sadness is your own or if it has been sponged up from your surroundings. Empathize with others, but don't try to carry everyone else's pain for them and double the burden. The gift of the Pisces card: tune into a healthy ecosystem with Pisces sensitive perception. We are all cells in the body of the one. Healthy individuals contribute to the health of the whole. Wow, so where is Sagittarius season helping us to expand to? This Pisces feeling that we are all the ocean, but we are also our individual drops in the ocean. The Pan card, the Devil card, kept coming up for me. What's pulling your strings? Who's in control of you? And it came real strong at the end with the challenge of this card when it was saying, notice if you are absorbing other people's sadness or if it really is your sadness. And I know that right now there is a lot of fear that certain groups are going to have a shitty next 4 years. Are you over empathizing with how other people may feel in the future? Or are you truly experiencing that feeling for yourself today, right now? That's a question I want to ask. Where is Sagittarius season helping us expand to? It's the expansion of knowing that you can be empathetic for other people, right? You can recognize other people's emotions, but Pisces wants you to remember to be responsible for your individual personal feelings. We're not here to heal the whole collective because that is way too much work for a single human, right? And we can collaborate with Aquarius energy to band together and do all this stuff. However, your power really, truly lies in working on your individual cell, because healthy individuals contribute to the health of the whole. Pisces energy is asking, are you projecting your need to heal onto the world? Or are you taking responsibility for your own healing and doing the work and going within and looking at the things in your life that are difficult to look at? Or are you projecting that because it's easier to do it to other people? Is what I'm going to say. Abram and Jamie, I very much appreciate your donations. A lot. Abram says, wow, this is leaving me speechless. Don't take on others' problems to double the burden. 100%. 100%. I went on a rant about a month ago on this about your ancestors. Taking on your ancestors' burden. Oh my gosh, I can't live this wonderful life because my ancestors have struggled so much. They've already struggled. Let them do it. Let the struggle live over there. You don't have to take it on. Same, right? Don't take on other people's problems to double the burden. You are doubling the sadness. If you are, these people are so sad. Let me feel sad for them. Where's the joy? I do it for the future and I hate it. Abram, interesting. 3/4 Pisces and 1/4 Aries. This is 10 times better than therapy. Thank you. I'm here all the time. Misty, stay in your own lane. Yes, but why have we been conditioned to think that that's selfish? Christine's simple and so true. Suzanne, been super anxious about this. So who's pulling your strings? What has changed in your life today? That's what I'm going to ask. Today, currently, right now, Wednesday, November 20th at 9:27 a.m. Central, what has changed in your personal life today? Alda, thank you so much for your donation. Love the angel number. So cute. Sherry, I had a very strong physical reaction on November 5th. First time ever. I was sick for 4 days until I realized the collective fear and connected to my peace. Congratulations, Sherry. Congratulations on detaching from the collective, right? It's okay to be empathetic, but that doesn't mean that you are here to diminish your own experience because of what everybody else is feeling. What has changed in your physical reality right now? Suzanne, you sound like my husband. I am middle, don't care. I think politics are a joke. I think they're a way to thrust our emotions into super high and super low, right? I pay attention to my life and what's happening right now. What I will say, just going to say this out loud. When I was, I get notifications from my journal because I have this online journal and it will tell me, here's what you wrote 3 years ago today. I reread my journal from this time in 2016, and the amount of fear that I was experiencing this time in 2016, oh my gosh, I'm never going to have babies. Oh my gosh, I'm never going to buy a house. Oh my gosh, the whole world is going to be thrust back into the past and all. None of it came true. I actually thrived. So it was just very interesting to see how much fear I had because of what was going on around me, because of the bubble that I was in at that time and all the fear that was being projected through that bubble that I took on. I was scared shitless. I work for myself now and I'm freer than I've ever been, is all I'm saying. I'm not promoting anyone. I'm just saying you get to make your reality what you want it to be, despite whatever bread and circuses are being handed to you. Inga, thank you so kindly for your donation. Misty says, me too. I have enough of my own stuff to deal with. Yeah, you are important. Your life is so important. Why is it that we make everyone else's problems more important than our problems? I want to have a happy life for me so that I can show people an example of here's what it looks like to be happy. Would you like me to help you get to my feelings? Because I've worked my ass off to get here. Let me teach you how to do it. That's where I'm at. Christine, the journal app that I use is called Penzu. I just put it in the chat, Penzu. It's private. You guys can't go see my journal if that's what you're thinking about. But yeah, I like it because you can type and it's faster and all that stuff. And then I'm considering turning off the memories. It was fun for some time, but like now I'm getting memories from my husband and I just don't want to go there because it's like, yep, Jackie, you were dealing with that shit for years. How come it took you that long to get out of that? Sherry, nothing has changed except I've truly found a real peace now. I know I am safe. Congratulations. Congratulations. And sometimes you need to get massively triggered to find that peace. Inga and Abram, thank you guys for your donations. Very much appreciated. Triggers are not here to be your enemy. You need to be triggered into healing. If you are constantly surrounding yourself with padding and protection and you're keeping yourself in your bubble, how are you going to grow? You're going to stay the exact same. You need things to come in and push your buttons in order for you to say, this is not for me. I do not agree with you. That's okay. It doesn't mean that you have to convince them to believe what you believe. It means that you are supposed to look at, wow, this is triggering me. Why is this bringing up such a strong emotional reaction? What can I do with this emotion? Can I go look for people who also feel the way that I do, just to have some camaraderie? Am I here to trigger people? A husband, Christine. Yeah, I got that saying from one of my line dance instructors. She calls her ex her husband, and I loved it. So funny. It's like a lighthearted way to say it, you know? This week on Insight Timer, I will be back on Friday at 9 o'clock Central. So right now it's 9:30 Central, so 30 minutes in the past. I'm going to come back for a Q&A session, which has been quite some time since I've done Q&A. So come prepared with questions. Ask me whatever you want to ask me. The session will be driven by you this time. So here I am handing you the responsibility for coming prepared to my session with questions, whatever you want to know. Ask me about me, ask me about life, ask me about my opinions, ask me about astrology, ask me about self-empowerment, ask me about oracle decks, ask me about becoming a traveling nomad, ask me about navigating life's changes. Did I say personal power yet? I think I'm finally settling in on my niche. I've been working for myself since like 2020 is kind of when I started doing all this stuff. And every coach I've had is like, what's your niche? What's your niche? And I'm like, I don't have one. I just help everybody. I think I'm finally settling in that like I help people find how powerful they are. Would you guys agree with that? Can I ask for validation from you guys? Am I helping you find how powerful you are? Because I think that's what I'm doing. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for all of your support today. Anyone who has offered a donation, be prepared to receive a book dive. If you have donated through Insight Timer, I will comment on your donation so you can find it in your notifications. If you have donated off of Insight Timer, I will either email you or comment on your Venmo donation. So thank you. Sherry says, I'm definitely here to trigger my extended family, evidently. Just being my wonderful self and living life different than them. I'm saying this for myself as well. It's your decision how much triggering you want to do, and to know when you have said your piece, they're going to sit with it for some time because not everyone moves as fast as you move. And you can go, and then you can go trigger other people. Awesome, Abram. The feeling I get from this is beyond empowering. That's awesome. That makes me feel so good. Me? I do that for you guys? That's awesome. You guys are all saying yes. Abram, Jamie, Sherry, Leah, Melinda, Anna, Christine. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Anna, pushing us by example to dream big. Because you can do whatever you want. Christine, like this? Are you a 3-5 profile? You can answer Friday. Yeah, ask me about human design. I also dabble in human design. Thank you, Christine. You assist me in feeling empowered. Christine, I messaged you on Patreon. I don't know if you've seen that message yet. I wanted to know about the motorhome that you are trying to get rid of. Just saying. All right, guys, I'll be here on Friday for Q&A. And then I haven't scheduled my sessions for next week yet, but I don't see why I won't be here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's the week afterwards. Okay, 25, 27, 29. I will most likely be here on Insight Timer. Just double check for my classes. Okay. Sending love to all. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here, listening to my soapbox, and I'm really glad to know that you guys are getting some benefit out of this. I'll see you guys on Friday, and that's it.